Hi everybody, this is Bonnie from Bonnie's Creative Place .stampinup.net, and I am back with week number 10. Can you believe it? Week 10 of the 10 weeks of Christmas. This is the last week, and I hope that some of these have inspired you guys to make some of the gift cards, make some of the cards, make some of the little treat boxes for your holidays and for your friends and family. And for this one, this is a cute little way to add, if you're given a lot of gift cards or anything to that effect, to add a little something more than just a gift card. And we are going to be making these little gift card treats. I made these a couple years ago at a craft fair, and they were a hit. People just loved them. So you got 5 little candy kisses in here, and then up here you put your gift card. You could add another card on the back or just leave it like this and sign your name from it. And you could decorate it any way. I'm just going to be using this little cute little guy right here. So let's get started on how to make this card. Before we get started, if you see the little pink square over there in the right hand corner, if you would hit that subscribe button and share my videos, that is the best way to help me. And it builds my channel and it gets more people out there, and then maybe I will have some people join my team or anything to that effect. So if you do want to purchase any of the supplies that you see here today, you can use this hostess code NA9K4SQH, and you just go to bonniescreativeplace.stampinup.net. I want to share a couple things with you really quick. If anybody does order from me, you get the free tutorial, and it's gift card and slimline cards tutorial from our December creative cardiology team, and you'll get that for free. You also, if you want to join my online class for the month of December, we're going to be doing the class as Daisy Lane. And the hostess code, if you want to join that class, is BNU4Q3EH. All you have to do before December 10th is go on, order the Daisy Lane stamp set and the 2 daisy punches. If you already have that, then just add those 3 things together and order that amount before shipping and handling, and let me know that you already had the set and you would like to get in, and you will get to order. You will get to have the kit shipped to you for free, and the tutorial and all the videos. So if you're interested in that, let me know. You can either message me in the description box below, or you can email me. All the information, all the good stuff is in the description box below. So now let's get started. So for this card, we're going to be using the Friesen Friends, and we're going to use this little bunny right here. And then I used the Itty Bitty Christmases, and I used this Happy Christmas right down here. But you could use whatever, there's some sayings in here if you want to use, or you could use a different Merry Christmas stamp set or whatever. So those are the stamp sets that we're going to be using. Oops, I almost dropped my scoreboard over. So we're going to be doing some scoring. So I'm going to bring in the scoreboard while I got it right here. This is a piece of paper that you need. This is Balmy Blue. And you need this piece to be 9 3/4 by 7 3/4. So that's how big your piece of paper has to be. I kind of got my little cheat sheet going on over here, so I'm looking at that to make sure I'm doing things right. So on the 7 3/4 sides with your Simply Scorer, let me make sure I'm in the camera good. You are going to score at a 1/2 inch. So right here at a 1/2 inch, we're going to score all the way down, and then we're going to score at 1 1/2. All the way down. Then we're going to turn it, and we're going to do the same thing. A 1/2 inch and 1 1/2. Yes, you could have gone all the way over and scored it at 6 1/4 and at 7 1/4, but it was just easier for me to flip it. I'm left-handed, and it just makes it easier. So So now on the 9 3/4 inch side, we are going to score at 2 3/4. So right here, it's 2 tick marks back. Well, if you count the 3, then the next tick mark, and then 1 more, that's where it is. So we're going to score that right straight across. Then we are scoring at 5 1/4, 6 1/4, 7 1/4, 8 1/4, and 9 1/4. So here we are. We got all this. So we are done. And you're like, oh my goodness, what is this mess? Well, so what we're going to do is we're going to cut away a bunch of this stuff. So looking at my little cheat sheet here, I am just going to go ahead and I'm just going to mark off what we don't need with a pencil, just to help you out. We do not need this, and we do not need this. Now going down this side, we do not need any of these. And we don't need this piece right here. Now, going down this side over here, we don't need this one. We don't need this one. We need this one. And we don't need this one. And we don't need these. Okay? So, I'm hoping you're picking that all up, because I didn't really hope the pen's picking it up. But these are the ones, and this is how I do it. I do all the scoring, and then I go back and I cross off just to make sure I'm not cutting something that I shouldn't be or whatever. So what we're going to do is we're just going to cut like this. Cut this off. Cut this at a little bit of an angle. Okay? We're going to cut this off, and we're going to cut this at a slight angle. We're going to cut right up through the middle, and then we're going to cut this one at a slight angle, and we're going to cut right up the middle, and then we're going to cut this all the way up. We're going to cut this one off, and we're going to cut this one off, and then we're going to cut right up, just like that. We're going to turn it. We're going to cut all the way down now. Right to there. We're going to cut all the way down on this one to that second score line. Right there. We're going to cut this off. And then we're just going to cut this all off. So we don't need this. Right there. And then we're going to cut these up. And we're going to cut this piece at a little angle. So we have something that looks like this now. Now I want to come in here and I just want to give in between these just a little bit of a shim, because they are going to be going together on the outside, and you don't want stuff hanging over, and you kind of want it to look nice. So we're just going to trim them off a little bit. And I could see where I still have a little bit of that score line, and that will hang over, and that'll drive me crazy. And we're going to go back and we're going to do the same thing on these ones. We're just going to give them a little bit. You could do this when you're going around, but I didn't want to overwhelm anybody, so I like to go back and tell people to do this part. I'm going to leave this one straight because that's going to be closing up the box. Okay, so now all of this is stuff we do not need. Now we're going to fold on all the score lines. Go back like so. That's how I must have it. And then this comes up and is going to get glued just like that. Oops, I'm showing it over here like you're in the room with me. Just like this. So this is how this is going to go together. So now we're going to go ahead and we're going to add some score tape to the card. We're going to add, I don't know why I can't fold this way. I can, that's how I did it. I knew I had it folded in. Okay, so let's get some score tape and we'll talk about this again. Okay, on this little blue strip right here, we're going to add some score tape. Okay, the easiest, before we add score tape here, I almost forgot, we need to get a circle punch. And I'm going to just use the 1-inch circle punch. Okay, before we do any gluing or anything, or forget, take the 1-inch circle punch, put it in a little ways, like about that far, and punch it out. Now you're going through two thicknesses, so it may, there, give it a good punch. And then when we get ready, before we put the blue one on, we'll trim it again. Okay, so now we have this. Now let's take our card, and you want it to go right to here. So what you want to do is you want to take your pencil, and you don't want, I'm going to move it back just a hair more, just for good measures or whatever. And I'm going to put a pencil line there. This means I can put only adhesive from here, and then you got to have it, you're having it here, and you don't want it to fall down, so actually you should put a little bit of mark here. And this also means I can only put adhesive along here and along here. Then when we close this, it'll be all sealed. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to take, and we're going to put adhesive score tape along here. You could use liquid glue, you could use whatever you want, but I don't know, I just find it easier to use the score tape. And then of course I'm going to put one right here on the edge all the way down so that it won't fall, or it shouldn't fall, but it'll seal up. So now we have this. Now let's get our tool and we'll put this together. This top part anyways, this is. Okay. We'll put this, take this off. Take this one off. Okay. And we'll take this one off. And now we're going to close that right down. So now we have our gift card part done. But now we need to create the box. But before we can create the box, we got to create our window. So when you put this up like this, this is the one you want your window on. Is right here. So you want your window on the second one up. So I'm going to put a little X right here. So when I go up like this, and you put this up, you want a little X on the second, on that one right there, because that's where your window needs to be. But now we're going to work from the back side. So you're going to take it, and this is probably the trickiest part of this whole card. It's hard to get it perfectly straight. You're going to fold this tab in. You're going to take your punch. Now, I'm using this, I don't even know what the punch is called anymore, but it's kind of like a rectangular shape. If you have a rectangle die, that might even work better. But I don't have one that is this small. I checked through all my stuff. So this is one that I've used for years for this project, so I'm going to keep using this. You can't get this anymore from Stampin' Up! If you're lucky enough to have one, that's great. But I'm pretty sure somebody's got a skinny rectangle die out there. We have rectangle dies, but ours wasn't even skinny enough for this. So, you know, use what you have. Or use it, what do you call it? One of those knives, those X-Acto knives or whatever. So how I like to try to do this is I eyeball the center the best I can. Now you could punch one of these out from another piece of paper, stick it in here, center it, do that. I've tried everything. It's very hard, but don't worry, it'll still look very nice. So then you're going to punch this out. Then you're going to move it over, and you're going to go as far over past the score line, and then you're going to go back in, because you just want to make sure you're over far enough, but yet you don't want to be that far over. And we're going to punch that out. And then we're going to do the same thing here. We're going to go all the way over, but then we're going to go back in. And this is the tricky part right here, is always trying to get this perfectly lined up. And it never works, because look it, I have not got that perfectly lined up. I've got little hairs here. If it was perfectly lined up, I wouldn't have that. So it is what it is. If I see that it's too bad, like right here, it's pretty bad, I will try to go in and re-punch that up a little bit to make it more even. So that doesn't look too bad, but some people can do it pretty good. You can always take your scissors, because I got it off here, and just give it a little trim like that, and that evens it up also. Okay, so now we're going to flip it back over, so we're like this. You have to have two pieces, well, actually one piece for now, but we're going to need this one in the end. You need to have a piece of window sheet. I don't even know if you could see that. That's just a piece of window sheet. Stampin' Up! Sells this. And this window sheet is 1 by 4.5. And this window sheet is going to fit right here along your window. That's why it's called a window sheet. You don't have to. You could just put them in there, but I think this adds just a little bit more, that it's worth putting it in there for somebody. And you could take your liquid glue, but what I like to use is my glue dots. I knew I had them here somewhere. And I like to take a couple glue dots and roll them up. And what I mean is just take them and roll them up on your, because this is just a very light edge here. And I'm going to put 3 or 4 of these all along here. So now we have them on there, all the glue. And now we're just going to place this right over top of all those glue. Now you just want to make sure any of your sticky is underneath. Go around, just make sure it's underneath there. And they'll slide under. Even over here, check all your ends. I think I did pretty good, because otherwise stuff's going to stick to it, and you don't want anything to stick to it, because if it does, then, you know. So now what we're going to do is we're going to remove this piece of, and we're going to bring this up, and we're going to bring this up. I'll make sure this is folded good right there. We're going to bring this up, and we're going to lay it right down flat, just like that. Then we'll sit it up. So now do you see our little gift thing come into play here? Now this one we're going to close all the way up. So I'm going to close it up like this, or you could close it up. Actually, I think I'm going to close it up like that. So I am just going to put, you could put a glue dot, you could put whatever you want. I'm just going to use a glue dot right here, a couple glue dots. I like glue dots. This is what you could do if you didn't want to have the special tab to open them. And I like to have it facing towards the back, going backwards. Now on this side, this is the side that I ended up deciding to leave. On the other one, I did the other one. But on this side is your opening to where you can open. That's why there's this little slit here. So what we're going to do is we're going to take 5. I think I figured it out that it takes 5. This piece is a piece of Blooming Blue, and it is 3/4 by 4.5. And you put a glue dot on the bottom, and then you stick it right down. So we're going to put a glue dot on the bottom, and we're going to stick them down so they touch each other. I mean, what a cute little thing to give to somebody, a sweet treat with a gift card. I know I'm giving out several gift cards this year because my kids are just getting older. And so that's what I'm going to do. And 5 of them fit on here. I guess that one's for me for later. And then you're just going to go ahead and you're just going to take this. This way they can slide them off, eat a couple. And also it keeps it from tipping over. If you don't have something in here for them to sit on, those are going to float and fly all over. So you definitely need something for this to sit on. Oops, I almost forgot. This piece we don't need. You may get to that point. And if you do, just cut it off. If I forgot it. You don't need that piece because you're tucking this in like that. So if you get there and you forget that, then just go ahead and do that. So now we got that all done. So now let's get to stamping, the fun part here. So for the stamping piece, this piece of Whisper White is 2 1/4 by 4.5. And what I did here was I just went ahead and I took this little guy, the little bunny, on a set of skis, and I stamped him up. And I just kind of made him act like he was going down a hill here. Like that. Then I went ahead and I took the word we, and I kind of put that right about here. And then again I took that Happy Christmas from the Itty Bitty Christmas stamp set, and I put this right here at the top. It's a little crooked, but it'll be okay. So now we're going to get to coloring this little guy. So for the blends, I went ahead and I'm using the light and dark of the Blooming Blue. I am using Smoky Slate light and dark, and I'm using Soft Suede light and dark, and Flirty Flamingo. So I'm going to zoom in so you guys can see what I'm coloring, and then I will also be fast forwarding this. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and we are going to add the little swooshy thing on it. So I went ahead and I took the Blooming Blue and I just stamped this And I just kind of put it right there because I thought that was cute. And then we're going to go ahead and we're going to put this up here on our card for a second. And we're going to kind of look at it from the back. And we're going to take a pencil and we're just going to kind of do a little drawing. Make sure it came on. It came on there very light, but it did. It's right there. Then we're going to take our punch again. We're going to put it in. We're just going to line it up where that little bit is. And we'll punch it out. That's all we need. And now we're going to go ahead and we're going to add this. Oops, I almost forgot. I sponged the outside of to look. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add adhesive to the back of this card. And I'm lining up, I have to look at this. I'm lining up the edges over here with the edge to this. So this lines right up in that little edge curve. Yep, and there we go. And now we're going to go ahead and I'm going to get the snowflakes. And that is the card, everybody. I mean, well, gift card. This is it. Like I said, go to bonniescreativeplace.stampinup.net if you'd like to purchase anything. Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the comment, hit the share, hit all that. Thank you, everybody. I will see you soon in upcoming videos. Bye-bye.